Imagine lining up at the blocks for the 100-meter sprint, looking to your left, and seeing, like, a literal mass of titanium and servos just waiting for the starting gun.
Oh man, that visual is just wild.
It really is. Welcome to today's deep dive into the Daily Tech Reader's August 23, 2026 news brief. A Chinese-manufactured humanoid robot just shattered Usain Bolt's world record.
Right.
And is breaking high jump records while it is at it. So, okay, let's unpack this, because our mission today is to explore the massive physical footprint of all this digital progress.
Yeah.
We are tracking how this leap in AI is colliding head-on with fracturing global supply chains. And just to set the parameters before we really dig into the raw data today,
Sure.
The brief includes major geopolitical developments, new tariffs, President Trump, the ongoing Iran conflict. We are strictly looking at the mechanics of these events.
Right. Completely neutral.
Exactly. Completely neutral. No taking sides. We're just mapping the board exactly as the briefing lays it out to understand the global impact.
Yeah, and going back to the robot on the track, what's fascinating here is the underlying mechanism of that achievement. Because beating a human sprinter, it isn't just a matter of strapping a larger battery or stronger motors onto a metal frame.
Right. It's not just raw power.
No, not at all. It is this massive triumph of real-time balance control. Like, the AI is continuously running a sensory feedback loop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so in milliseconds, it's calculating foot strike angles, wind resistance, its center of gravity, basically doing all that just to prevent the machine from tearing itself apart at high speeds.
That is insane. But hold on. If we are shifting from, software that just writes emails to these dynamic physical machines navigating real-world physics, we are talking about a monumental surge in computing power.
Oh, absolutely.
And I have to wonder if we're just sprinting headfirst into a brick wall here. Like the briefing notes a recent Pew survey showing 40% of Americans expect AI to cause more harm than good.
Right. The skepticism is definitely there.
Yeah, and we're sitting on a national debt topping $40 trillion.
Yeah.
I mean, are we overextending our infrastructure to support a boom that the public doesn't even fully trust?
Oh, well, the public skepticism is very real, but the thing is, the capital markets are completely ignoring it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the U.S. pulled in $285.9 billion in private AI investment just last year. Look at companies like Etched.
Go.
They just hit a $21 billion valuation. And their entire model is based on abandoning general-purpose processors entirely.
Wow. Wait, so what are they using instead?
They're hardwiring chips specifically for the kind of real-time physical inference required by those robotic systems.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they're completely stripping out the architecture used for text generation.
Got it. Here's where it gets really interesting, though. If those specialized chips are the brains, the data centers are the metabolism.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it, yeah.
And it feels like we're treating AI data centers like they're just software, when in reality, they're closer to like 20th century aluminum smelters.
Yes.
They just devour electricity. You can't just write code to generate a new power grid.
You really can't. And this raises an important question, right? What happens when a limitless digital boom hits a hard physical energy ceiling?
Yeah, what does happen?
Well, regional power grids are already buckling under the strain of just cooling and running these facilities.
Wow.
And that localized demand makes the global energy market incredibly fragile, which is actually where the geopolitical data from today's brief comes into sharp focus.
Right. The situation with Iran.
Exactly. Iran's security chief, Mohsen Rezai, is now threatening to disrupt shipping corridors way beyond the Strait of Hormuz.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if regional governments comply with upcoming U.S. economic sanctions, he's threatening major disruptions.
And this is a very active kinetic conflict. I mean, the briefing explicitly notes that over 750 American troops have already been wounded in the region.
It's very serious, yeah.
So what does this all mean for the physical supply chain? Because the energy constraint, that's only half the equation here. If shipping corridors are choked off, the raw materials to actually build those hyper-advanced robotic chassis and data centers, those are bottlenecked too.
Exactly the problem. And that material squeeze is happening on multiple continents simultaneously.
Really? Where else?
Well, the U.S. just levied a 50% tariff on selected Canadian goods.
50%?
Yeah. And the mechanism of a tariff, it's designed to protect domestic industries, but the immediate friction it causes is massive.
Right, of course.
So Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney is launching retaliatory tariffs on September 8th.
Okay, and what are they targeting?
They're specifically targeting American steel, dairy, and electronics.
Wow. That is a highly targeted strike.
Yeah.
Because hitting steel and electronics directly inflates the cost of building the exact data center infrastructure and robotic hardware we just established is in desperately high demand.
Yes, exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the collision is unavoidable at this point.
Yeah.
We are rapidly transitioning to a society dependent on hyper-advanced physical technology. But the energy pipelines and raw material supply chains required to build and run that technology,
They're fracturing.
they are fracturing under intense geopolitical pressure. The fundamental cost of powering our tech-driven lives is mathematically guaranteed to surge.
Man. Which leaves us with one final thought, actually, drawn from the culture section of today's brief.
Oh yeah, this is a fascinating point.
It really is. The entertainment industry is rapidly adopting AI for synthetic performances and flawless digital dubbing, right?
Yeah.
Meaning the line between organic reality and digitally generated media is practically vanishing.
Yeah, it's getting so hard to tell the difference.
Exactly. So as the virtual world becomes perfectly seamlessly convincing, how will that flood of synthetic media impact our ability to clearly see and agree upon the very real physical geopolitical fractures we just mapped out?
That is the big question right now.
It really is something to chew on for sure.